that kind of announcement, you don't sell, you just hold on for higher. That would be a black swan to the upside, and that would bring in the volume that would be required to push it through these higher time frame key levels where there's a lot of confluence. I feel like looking at the chart now, the way this price action this fib levels, this major fib levels lands on the yearly level, I do feel that that is quite a significant area of potential resistance. There's something to bear in mind. If I do a full, oops, that's the wrong one. I do a full fib on the logged scale, we have an arbitrary 50% mark. That probably could act as resistance too. You can see that that mark is in line with this weekly level. So if we go to the weekly time frame, the 50% mark, which is 50% of the range, is at about 17.5 cents. Will the price stop at 17.5 cents? It could. You know, it's possible. Everything's possible. But just bear in mind that if we do get up to 17.5 cents, even though there's a 50% mark on the fib time frame, on the fib scale, and also a weekly level, you don't have any volume nodes there, and we're making a higher high on the weekly time frame. That's your higher high. If we go up there now, or to next week or the week after, you're making a higher high. You're making a higher high. That's extremely bullish. Extremely bullish after such a prolonged downtrend. To be making a higher high. This isn't actually the higher high, lower high, because this was a lower low. So right now, when I'm looking at the time, the price action, these are lower lows. These are higher highs. And so if we go up and make a higher high here, or here, who knows where, that's a higher high. And the next thing you'd be looking for after you've put in that pivot is a higher low. That's kind of what you would be looking for, just to create this kind of rounding bottom on the higher time frame. That would be perfectly bullish reversal at the lows. You make a higher high somewhere. I don't know where. I can't predict the future. I can't tell you the price is going to reverse at 18 cents or anywhere in between 29 cents. Or I think taking out this weekly high is on the table, is on the cards, and I think it has to happen. It has to happen now, because we are impulsing away from this 236. And I think everyone will know that I did say that this 236 was a very important level to cross. And as you can see, as we've crossed this 236, the price is just expanding outwards to the upward direction, because that becomes your major support line now. I find it very difficult to imagine the price to come back underneath that 236, because you do have a value area high of this overall range at the same line. So there's a bit of confluence there, and especially after you make another high. So if we go up, make a higher high, I think it'll be very difficult for the price to come back underneath 5.5 cents. I can't see it happening. So let's see what happens. I think then you'll be looking for a higher low, and then the way to see how the higher low will form is to see where the higher high pivot is put in, and we don't know when that's going to happen. We don't know. If I was to draw a fib pool from, let's just say for the sake of argument, it's brush strokes. Let me just, I got my higher time frame levels here. Just call those higher time frame levels there. And I'm going to do this on all these exchanges just to see if I see any kind of big differences. So you've got those higher time frame levels there. And I've only marked the higher time frame levels to the upside. I haven't marked the higher time frame levels on the downside. Okay. If we start turning to the downwards direction, I'll look at those again. If we go from this all-time low to this 17.5 cent mark, you'll see that the 236 coincides with the back test of this 382. It's very possible that we go up. If we put a pivot here, that will be your first area of support line, and then you just have to see how the price reacts. If the higher low is created there, to see if we have continuation, or if there is no support there, then you'll be looking for lower. If we were to go higher up to the golden pocket, you'll see that the 382 now lands at the same place as the 382 on the reverse. So potentially, if we were to go up and expand up somehow, then actually a good place to accumulate or reaccumulate would be somewhere around this 382 level. Does it go back down to 9 cents to be our last line of defense to make a higher low there? And actually what you can see is there's lots of strong levels. If we were to go up to the golden pocket, there's lots of strong support levels, and we just have to see how the price is going to react at key levels to the downside, to looking for a higher low. That's what we were looking for. If we are able to push up to make a higher high, whether that's at 17.5 cents or higher at 29.5 cents, there are some key levels. And as far as I'm concerned, the last line of defense probably could be this golden pocket and value area high. I think that will be much lower. It won't be bearish. It will look bearish, but then you're looking to put in a higher low, and that would be a major area of interest for most people because of the pullback. If we were to go up to 29 cents and then pull all the way back down to 5.5 cents or so, you'd then be coming into the golden pocket and the value area high of this overall range. After a significant pullback like that, that would be a buy. That would be a buy of a lifetime, a reaccumulation of a lifetime. But we don't know. We don't know how far this could pull back. It all depends on Bitcoin, and also it all depends on the project, on Dtravel, and on the interest, and on the network growing, and the increasing interest in the token, and obviously the utility as well. So I know for a fact that next week the tokenomics documents will be released, and I think that's going to bring in a lot of interest. And let's see what happens. This is on MEX. Let me just quickly have a look at all the exchanges to see if I see anything different. that. Hide these. Do exactly the same thing. So we still have that yearly level that I'm thinking about. I'll put those on all the time frames. Then you go to that yearly level corresponds to see the 6-month candles, the 3-month candles. On the 3-month candles, it looks like the liquidity is taken, but because it's a higher time frame level, it's very relevant. Then you're in the monthly time frame, you've got your monthly levels. Again, it looks like the liquidity is taken on that. It looks like that level's been front run. Look at the weekly. I won't do the dailies, it's fine. Just take too long. Do that one there. This one there. All right. So these are your higher time frame levels. I think the key one is that yearly. All right. Now, when you do a fib pull on gate, obviously if you take it from the gate all-time high, it's not going to be correct because you have a higher number and the golden pocket is much higher. Not correct. If I take it to the correct value, which is 0.56, see the golden pocket is positioned correctly there. See, it lines up with the yearly level. Okay, that's that. If I do a range pool, a volume range pool on the overall volume of gate. Now, gate is giving us some different information, and I'll explain why. So what happened with gate is there was a lot of volume put in this bounce here. You can see where the volume is. It's all here up to there and then down, right? And so therefore on gate, the volume area is much wider and the value area high on gate lands at 17.5 cents. And that's the 50% of the overall range. We haven't actually come to the 50% yet. So potentially there is going to be some resistance there. And most of that resistance is going to be on gate. Not necessarily the other exchanges, but gate. And that coincides with the weekly level too. So you have a little bit of confluence on gate. You have the 50% mark, you have the value area high, and you have a weekly level. Looking at this liquidity here, you can see that most of the liquidity was here, lower down, and we are coming into that level now. But as the price here went up, it cleared a significant portion of the liquidity all the way up to this point. So potentially a lot of that liquidity is cleared. Potentially a lot of that liquidity is cleared. However, if I look at the volume, you'll see that there was a lot of volume put in on this green weekly candle. See that big volume bar? There's a lot of volume. That was 326 million tokens worth of volume in that 1 week, when the price went up all the way up to about 52 cents, and then it was just sold into straight away. Okay, so potentially there are still trapped traders or trapped liquidity, and you can see here that it's like there, and there, and there, right? It's kind of giving you the area of interest when it comes to volume. Now, if there are people in Gate who are looking to exit after being in such a long downtrend, that's the area of interest. It's going to be just above this pivot here, and it's going to go all the way up to about 23-24 cents, where the volume kind of drops off. So in this candle, most of the volume was put into the lows of this range, not into the highs of this candle. It's in the lows of this candle. It's trapped liquidity. Most of the liquidity has been taken because most of the volume is lower down, and then this push up came in to clear most of the volume, but there is still volume there. So what does that mean? I think it's possible that what happens is we don't go up in it. Once we have to see what happens, but if we do get up there and we push up, it will require on Gate for sure volume to go up. We're going to need volume to push up and buy those orders. Okay, and if it doesn't happen, then there are many things that could happen. You could get a rejection, or you can get a failed auction, or you do get the volume and there's continuation, and we just head for the real resistance, which is at about 29 cents. I think 29 cents is going to be a major resistance level, simply because it's the yearly level and it's the golden pocket. The golden pocket on a higher time frame is not to be messed with. I would like to see the price get up to 29 cents in this push up. I would like to see that. I would like to see all of this liquidity cleared, because then it just means that when we do form our higher low, then there's no more liquidity. There's no more trapped liquidity in the whole of this downtrend. We've cleared all of the trapped liquidity. We're basically now into price discovery, because all we have to do then is form a higher low, and then the price will go ballistic. There'll be no volume liquidity trapped. We've cleared higher time frame levels of liquidity and resistance, and then the next time round it will be relatively easy to push up. Yeah, and all of these lines will be arbitrary lines. There won't be significant resistance lines. It will just be arbitrary. So there's something to bear in mind. The Gate is the one that's actually is the exchange of interest as we start to cross or hit 17.5 cents. Now, is the price gonna stop there? No one can predict that. I don't think it will, quite simply because I think the higher the price gets, the more FOMO there's going to be, the more bullish people are going to get, and then people are going to be looking at this chart, and they'll be looking at my analysis, and then also they'll be looking at this lovely Adam and Eve pattern that's forming. And so as the price breaks off to the upwards direction, I think people are going to be looking at that, and they'll probably just FOMO in. That's what I think. I don't know. I can't predict the future, but it is possible. So let's see how that happens. Let's see what happens with Gate. Okay. just quickly have a look at KuCoin as well, and then Bybit. I'll have a look at both of them. I'll have a look at all of them because it's good to just have a look at all of them and see if there's anything different. Let me just pull this volume range pool for the whole lot. Is that two? I can change that to 2000. Yeah, you can see right now on KuCoin that we're just leaving the value area high, and we had one rejection from the value area high here, but we're now leaving the value area high. So was there any volume resistance? There was a little bit, but I think this push up cleared that liquidity. There wasn't really much volume put in. You can see it's very bare. So there isn't really much volume resistance that I can see on KuCoin. Now, potentially you could argue that on KuCoin and on MEX we're in price discovery, but obviously we have arbitrary levels that need to be crossed, and it goes back to what I was saying. KuCoin doesn't have that yearly resistance that I identified on Gate and MEX, you see, because it launched it should be there actually. Why is it not? Why doesn't KuCoin have it? It launched in December, but they haven't actually printed that candle. They've just ignored it, probably because there's no data. I mean, technically it is still there, but it's not on the chart. December. Oh, okay, the price didn't go up, it went down. That's why it's not there, because you need a green and then the red, and there was no green, so that's why it's not there. So you don't have that yearly level, you don't have that 6 monthly level, you don't even have a 3 monthly level. So potentially on KuCoin there's really no resistance. You've got this monthly level here that I would consider taken, because you've got this wick, it's kind of front run it. It might still offer some resistance, but I would consider that gone, just like I would probably consider this level gone too. Yeah, I don't necessarily think those are significant levels of interest any longer. Obviously the price can tell you something else. You just have to see what happens. You've got this weekly level, so that is going to possibly play a role. And then this weekly levels up here of these wicks, so the liquidity was all cleared. You've got this weekly level here. That's it. That's KuCoin. Not much resistance on the way up. Yeah, I mean, KuCoin is looking the best, really, when you think about it. Potentially, we're in KuCoin, we're heading into price discovery now. Even though it isn't price discovery, it'll be the same thing because there's no volume. So as interest picks up, people start buying, the price will go up very fast, potentially. Okay, this is something to bear in mind. Now, if I was to do a fib pull on KuCoin, it would look different because obviously the all-time high in KuCoin is different. I don't really like that. I think it's better to just do it accurately from the registered all-time high to the all-time low. I'm just like, I think that's correct because it's all based on math. So let me just do it correctly. And so probably your first area of interest will be the same as the other exchanges where they come into resistance. I think KuCoin will probably start finding resistance too, which is the golden pocket. I would like to see the price go up to the golden pocket. Let's see. And obviously you have this 50% mark, which is again lining up with a weekly level. Let's see how the 50% mark off, whether that offers resistance or not, whether there's any big take profits or not. Now it will be a higher high, and it'll be very easy to see if we get a rejection or not, because if we do go up, make a higher high, and the price fails to continue, you've got this monthly level, which is at the previous wick, where that's down at about 15 cents. If we now start losing that level, we're coming back underneath this pivot, then maybe then that's your higher high and the pivot's been put in. Okay, and then you could potentially see some selling if that was to happen. And so that's why I think it'll be better, if possible, that we push through that level with volume, just to push through it and try and clear the liquidity into the golden pocket. I think that would be the healthiest price action for the bulls, if we can just get up there and just get into that golden pocket, so that the next time we go up, after we've put in a higher high, it'll just be too easy. You know, then you'll look for a higher low, and then you can just rock it. It's kind of what I think will be the best for TRVL. The interesting thing about this value area high, it's at our current price, roughly about 8.1 cents. There is an arbitrary SR flip at about 9 cents. Potentially by the time we get up into the higher prices, this volume area could expand a little bit, and the value area high could come up to about 9 cents, where 9 cents will be the line in the sand potentially. But I'm not like saying this is going to happen. I'm saying it could happen if we start putting some more volume up in these higher ranges, and that's what we want to see. All right, so there's nothing really more on KuCoin. Let me just have a look at Bybit as well. That. Do exactly the same thing. 5.956. So this is the correct fib. I'll just hide these. Trend line, get rid of these brushes. Get rid of these now. I do a volume pull on the whole range again. So you see on Bybit, the volume area is slightly higher at about 9.4 cents. So there's a little bit of divergence in the information that's coming from the different exchanges. I mean, to all intents purposes, that's okay, because we might get a little pullback on one exchange, but then the other 3 exchanges will continue rallying. Yeah, so that's not necessarily a bad thing at the moment. I don't see any trap liquidity, so the only trap liquidity that exists is on gate, and as long as the volume continues to, and you can see on Bybit, look at the volume, look how much volume is coming in. Like, we're getting good volume on Bybit, a significant increase in volume, and that's what you want to see. I do feel like Bybit is trying to take over the price action in terms of the way the volume is coming in, and I think that would be best for all of us, because I mean Bybit is the bigger exchange. It's one of the biggest exchanges, and you want Bybit to be the most bullish one. Let me do the same thing I did with the others. I'm going to see if there's that yearly level that I was contemplating. Yep, you see that? So on 3 of the exchanges, you have this key yearly level at just underneath the golden pocket. See that? Oh, it's red, it should be blue. It's red now, no worries. And then that corresponds with 6 month, that corresponds with 3 month. Although in the 3 month the liquidity was taken, but because the 6 month is still intact, it's still significantly relevant. And then also I can do exactly the same thing. This monthly level is here at the value area high. That liquidity is being taken by that wick. You can see the wick's taken the liquidity from that level. It's already been tapped, so it's not going to necessarily offer significant strength as we hit it one more time. This level has been taken as well. You see that? You see here the level's been hit, here the level's been hit. So if it hits it a second time, it's not going to offer the same kind of reaction as the first time. And then obviously you've got that higher level much higher up. Again, these levels aren't matched by volume, so they're just arbitrary price levels. They're not necessarily going to offer significant resistance. They may do, and they may offer some form of resistance, but not necessarily the same kind of resistance as you would get if you had confluence with some other levels like volume levels. And I think volume levels are really, really important, because it just shows where previous price action, where people were buying and selling at those levels. That's showing you the interest. I can do this here with the weekly, get my weeklies in now. I'm not doing daily on any of the time frames. Again, the same thing here. This weekly level corresponds with this 50%. So that's definitely something to bear in mind. Okay, now we have to see how the price behaves as we get to those that 50% mark, and then you've got that higher weekly there. Okay, these are my levels. I'm not doing the lower ones, I'm just doing the higher ones at the moment. Levels. So I've done that on all of the exchanges. I've got my fib, I've got my volume pool. Okay, and while on KuCoin we're leaving the volume range, on Bybit we're still in the volume range. On MEX you can see that we've left the volume range. So on two exchanges we've left the volume range. On Gate the volume range is much wider, and so the value area high kind of coincides with the 50% mark at about 17.5 cents. And then Bybit we're potentially coming into the value area high, which is the extent of the Bybit volume range. Okay, so there's still a little bit of divergence. I think for all intents purposes that's okay, because we are going upwards. And then what we want is, as we go back down in the future for some kind of significant pullback, we want all of the exchanges to have the same confluence in support levels. And that's how we're going to identify the strongest support, where we can find the strongest levels of support where all of the exchanges are lining up with the correct levels at the same place. Right, so right now, because the resistance lines are all varied on all the exchanges, I think that's probably beneficial for the bullish nature of the price action, because maybe on one exchange it's going to resist, but on the other three exchanges there's no resistance, because there's different levels, and so probably then it's going to be more bullish. I'm hoping, cross my fingers, hope to die, I'm hoping that we get to the golden pocket in this run. I think that would be really, really a big achievement, a massive achievement for the bulls to get there. And also we'll make a higher high. We've come into the golden pocket. That's what you want to do. You want to come into the golden pocket, test the golden pocket one time. And actually it won't just be one time, it would be the second time, because we can see it's come in once already. Come into the golden pocket and then make a higher high and see what happens. And potentially there could be a pullback, but that will be a good place for the price to pivot. We put a nice pivot into the golden pocket, then we'll be looking for a higher low, and then we'll be looking for the next level of significant support, where people who have taken profit will be able to begin to reaccumulate. And I'll be looking for a reaccumulation range to form after we put in a weekly pivot, hopefully a higher high. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so that's kind of a brief, or not so brief, description of the price action on the higher time frame. I'll quickly have a look at the Bitcoin and the ETH charts as well. Let me get rid of all of this previous stuff that I've done, not relevant anymore. I'll get rid of these fixed ranges. I'll just get rid of all of that, and I'll just redo it. It's not a big deal. It's always good to redo analysis. I'll do a volume pool on the whole range. Again, can you see that we're above the point of control? We're above this volume liquidity here. There's volume liquidity here. To all intents and purposes, that's already been cleared with this wick up. It's gone up and it's cleared all of the liquidity. So we have a little bit more liquidity here. Potentially that liquidity's gone too in this push up here. Potentially. So potentially on Bitcoin, there's no more resistance in terms of volume, potentially. Yeah. Because of that push up that cleared all of this push up, cleared all of the liquidity in this down range. And then what you would say, or you would think, then, well, what about the liquidity that's trapped from that move down to the lows? Well, let me have a look. If I do a volume range pool from here to here, you see there isn't really much volume. There's mostly we're already above most of it. Look, yeah, and most of that's been cleared with this wick up. So potentially I'm looking at Bitcoin, I'm thinking most of the volume resistance is gone, but you still do have some high volume nodes here. There's one node here, but as you can see, we've pierced it once, twice. The third time we can just go through. Continue. The volume area high, the value area high has been pierced once here. Could we just go through and just keep on going? It's possible. It is possible. If the volume comes in, then there isn't really much volume resistance as far as I can tell. But let's see. I can do exactly the same thing. Is there any higher time frame levels to contemplate? Well, not on the yearly time frame. So on the 6 monthly time frame, you can see a 6 monthly level here. I'm going to mark it off. I'll rename it to 6 monthly. Doesn't really correspond with anything else. It might just be arbitrary. That 3 monthly in my mind is tapped already, and so is that one. So I'll just ignore the 3 monthly ones and go to the monthly. So that 6 monthly is actually a monthly which has been tapped. So it may not really be significant anymore. It's hard to tell. We have to see when the price gets there to see if it forms some kind of resistance or not. You have a monthly level right there. Weekly. This one is, in my mind, tapped because the price went up into it. It was front run, but you can argue that because it's basically hit. That's what I see from that. It might still offer resistance, but I think it's been hit once, so you wouldn't necessarily pay much attention to it the second time, but it may still offer some kind of resistance. Do a fib pull from this high to this low. Can't really see anything interesting. I can see that the 50% mark is coming on, lining up roughly with the value area high. So we have to see what happens with the price. It's been pierced once already, which is a good sign. Potentially what you want is you do want to go up into that golden pocket, but as you can see, this price action has from the all-time high here, it moved down really fast. So if we are going to kind of go up there, it is possible that we just move up really fast again. It is possible that there isn't really any kind of major resistance in the way. No one knows exactly. Will the golden pocket offer resistance? It could, yeah, but it may not. It may not, because we had such a fast sell-off. So if you get into those higher levels here, basically above there, if we do get above there, then it could just do that. There's no resistance. And then you get into that higher weekly level and possibly an all-time high. If we can get to the all-time high, that'll be a really great achievement, because in this run, in this wave, because if you do get to the all-time high, then you're making a higher high. It's kind of what we want. We want to make a higher high because we've made a lower low. You make a higher high, then the next thing you're looking for is a higher low. That's what you're looking for, and that's what I'm thinking is we make a higher high. If we can get up to 29 cents, then I'll be looking for a higher high on the Bitcoin chart. So let's just see how that plays off. I think it's possible. I think it's possible because I'm not seeing much resistance in the way, except arbitrary lines, which may or may not play a part. I think for me, volume is the most important thing. So I always consider that first. Just to change that to slightly better numbers. Get rid of these. Don't think they're relevant. Get rid of those. I have a key level there which has been pierced once. Now this wing, okay, so we can just hide that now. I'll do a new. I'll keep that key level just in case. I must have put it there for a reason. So this is the TRVL against ETH on Uniswap, and the values are in Gwei, or whatever it's called, Gwei. Again, there's not much volume resistance. It's pretty much all cleared. Most of the volume is in the lows, and we're above the volume now. We've got this value area high, slightly higher up. Will it offer resistance? Yeah, I mean, it always could. So it's just good to have those levels in mind. The golden pocket is much higher up. I think I would like to see. Again, you see, the thing is, it would be nice to go and make an all-time high now, just to make that higher high. I think if TRVL was to get to 29 or 30 cents, then you could potentially go up there really fast, especially that wick. You get past this pivot here. You could potentially do that. Just go all the way up, make an all-time high against ETH. There's no volume resistance, and that wick can get filled up very quickly if we enter it. If you enter that wick, the price manages to get up there, you could fill really quickly all the way up to the high. That's kind of what you want, because if we can make a higher high there, then we're just looking for a higher low. And that's I wouldn't mind if we saw that on all the charts. This key level that I've marked off is the same level as this 236. It looks like a support and resistance flip. So potentially, let's see if we can flip that. These fib lines aren't amazing, but that 236 is. So let's see if that 236 flips. If that flips, that'll be a major achievement against ETH. The rest are arbitrary lines, just levels which can be traded to and from on a local time frame. What else am I looking at? Let me have a look at anything here. Nope. Nope. Monthly. Yeah, monthly level there. Mark that off. Just because I think levels might not react or might not offer resistance, it doesn't mean that I'm going to ignore them. What I'll do is I'll have them as a reference, and then if the price does react, then I'll know that there is something there that's holding the price down, and then we can see if the price is finding resistance against one of these levels. But just because I think it might not react, or there's not enough volume to support a reaction, doesn't mean I'm just going to ignore it. It means I'm just going to pay attention. That's all. I won't necessarily take the trade. If I see confluence, that's when I'm more likely to take the trade, if I'm looking to trade. Okay. And I'm always looking to trade after I see a reaction. I'm not just going to jump in and hope for the best. I'm looking for the reaction first. Let me just put those into here. I'm going to be back in like 5 minutes to continue this. Okay, I'm back. It's good to have a little break as well and have a tea and stuff. I'm just going to continue with TRVL. Something else that's potentially interesting as well is possibly like a fib extension from here to here. We do have a little bit of resistance here on the Eve chart. Let's see how the price reacts at the value area high. It's the golden pocket there. If we don't get any kind of big resistance, if we are able to push up, then maybe I'll be thinking of an extension, and that will take us to the golden pocket higher up. That's something to bear in mind. That line that coincides with the golden pocket, and the extension on this move to there. Maybe then that wick wasn't exact, was it? I don't know. It's hard to tell. Let me see how that looks on Bitcoin. Do exactly the same thing. So from up there to there, no, that's very different because that came from the all-time high. Let me have a look at the so from this pivot down to here. Yeah. It's going to be an area here of resistance, and we just have to see how high we can get. Whether we can actually get into the golden pocket will be the extension from here to there. That'll be the extension that I'll be looking at, which will land into the golden pocket and the yearly level. We have to see where the price slows down or stops, how high it can get. I don't know. I really can't tell. All the exchanges have different kind of exact levels and information. I think that's good because it means that the price could go further than most people think. We have to see. Anything else? Something to be... Let's see, 23 and nearly 24 cents. Okay, something to bear in mind. Let me just zoom in a little bit. What I'm going to do on this this chart actually. I'm just going to mark out these volume levels so I can get rid of this fixed range. Get rid of that fixed range. I'm trying to do something else. Okay, system. Get rid of these now. Step panel chart. Okay. That's nice. Don't know if this is going to play out the way I imagine it. It's definitely possible, if we are in a wave 3 now, that we pull back to find support on the top of this one to push up for a wave 5 of 1. This whole thing is a 1. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if this can push up and then we have a smaller 5. Something like that. Or if we reject earlier and then we have a 5 impulse pushing into the golden pocket. There's like a couple of possibilities that could happen. Yeah, we have to see how that plays out. And this is interesting. So we've kind of broken out over this. So I've got this GAN fan, which is from the all-time high to this first all-time low pivot was put in before we had this relief rally. That relief rally took us to the 2-1 after this pivot was put in here. Just mark it out. Mark it out correctly. That's from the all-time high. The all-time high here, and draw a GAN fan all the way down to this pivot here. The price rallied into the 2-1. Price rejected, and it managed to get above, kind of find support, rejected off the 3-1, and now, as you can see, we're above the 3-1 now. We've closed on the daily time frame for the first time. We've closed above the 3-1. That's the first close above this 3-1 that we've had ever. That's quite interesting. I think potentially we could see, I mean, it's possible that we go up. Yeah, it's possible. Because they do like that. The GAN looks like it's reacting. But even if we were to do that, there's no GAN to be had. And it will just be coming to a different level. If that was to happen, then do we kind of, you know, find support on the 4-1 if we can break above it? Just like how it broke here and it kind of, until it found support. Large portion of what's going to happen has got to do with Bitcoin, so there's no way to really predict what's going to happen. There's no way. But it's not likely that we just go up unless we have some kind of black swan to the upside. So until that happens, then there are levels of resistance in the way. I still think the big one is going to be at the golden pocket. It's going to be above this 4-1 GAN. Potentially the 4-1 could act as resistance. No one can know if it does or not. But, and I think, bear in mind, as the price goes up, people are going to become more bullish. And so as long as the volume comes in, you could get more of an impulsiveness as the price goes up, especially since there's less and less historic volume which is the trapped volume. This is something to bear in mind. That would be the extension. I mean, there's a really strong resistance level at about 29 cents. It starts at around 23 or so, and it goes up to 29, 30 cents. I'd like that level, I'd like that area to be cleared of any kind of future resistance. You need it to go up. And try something else out. Go to the regular chart. Most people look at the price action on the regular chart. They're not looking at the log chart. But I mean, if the price does go up to 30 cents, it's going to look crazy bullish. People will be looking at like this. Right, I'm going to do something else I haven't done in a while. I'll do it on the log and then I'll go back to the regular. Do it on a daily time frame. I'm just going to draw this speed fan. Speed fan should be on the regular price, not on the log. But I'm going to draw it on the log because it's easier to see this pivot. Then I'm going to go back to regular. Okay, that's the pivot there. So it's the first all-time low, not the second one. From the all-time high, you've got this fib speed fan, and the level of interest for me is the 618. And in the current price action, see that it's coming to about 30 cents, but if we hit that later on, you have a really, honestly, we have a really strong resistance if we're able to get up there. You see that? Because that definitely, there's definite confluence there between a lot of areas of interest on the fib time and fib levels, both on log and also on the regular price chart. You can see this speed fan is telling us that in the next 1 or 2 weeks, if the price does rally up, then we could be hitting that 618 from the all-time high. That will be the first time it hits. That's going all the way back to the first all-time low pivot that we put in over here. Maybe I'll go to the weekly time frame and just get more of a estimated area of interest rather than an actual area of interest. So what I do is I go onto log to draw it because it's easier to draw, but it doesn't look right on log because the values are based on regular. That one there from the pivot all-time high. and you change it back to regular. And when would I have it? This weekend, next week. When is the fib time that I have? Ah, it's the week after. Okay. So possibly in the fib time. That would put us perfectly at 30 cents. Okay. You have a pretty strong resistance there based on fib. If I use a regular it's an extension. Okay. Change it to full fib. Yeah, these fib levels don't really line up to anything because on the regular the 236 is much higher. So the fib level of interest is the log fib level, which is the golden pocket, not the regular fib level, but the actual the area of interest is somewhere here. I think I marked it, didn't I? There's volume levels. There. Somewhere there. It's the area of interest. Right. Right, I think that's it. I'm not really have anything else to kind of analyze right now. Local price action, it's looking bullish. Consolidation after that breakout. We're having really bullish consolidation right now. How do I know it's bullish? Well, it looks bearish. That's how I know it's bullish. Why does it look bearish? Because it looks like we're going down like a flag. If I look at these, the CCI, that's very bullish. That's like divergences because the price is going sideways or potentially even up. And on the hourly time frame, the CCI is going down. It means there's a lot of buying and absorption. On a lower time frame, you can see it more clearly. You see how the MACD is going down. The price is basically going sideways. I think there's a lot of absorption here and the price is being absorbed. That's what it looks like to me. So it's still looking very, very healthy price action. Looking at these indicators that I use on the 12-hour time frame, we're back above the 100. We've basically, I'll show you this so you can see. This is the CCI. What's happened is we came under, back test, then we're back above. And it's like a trend line break there on the CCI. So it's looking very strong. Anything else on the CCI? Let's have a look. 3-day chart. I already showed you this before, but you can see there's a little bit of a breakout on the CCI to the upward direction. That's quite bullish. That's on the 3-day chart. On the weekly chart, the price on the CCI came to test the 100 mark, and it's just rejected off the 100 mark. So on the CCI, I don't know if people are familiar with the CCI, but every, like, there's SR lines at 0, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, all the way down. So every 100, there's an SR flip, effectively. That's what the CCI is. Sometimes it just ignores key levels, like here. But what I showed to you before in the past is here on the weekly level. This is called the 0 line reject. And the confirmation is where the CCI crosses the pivot that's made on the CCI above the 0 mark within the 50 and the minus 50. There's a 0 line reject. It's a continuation pattern on this indicator, which is showing continuation. And so we had a lot of bullish indication on the higher time frame on the CCI. You had this breakout, and then you had this 0 line reject, which was confirmation of a continuation, and you have a rejection. After we pushed up, we had a rejection of the 100. Yes, so there's a lot of bullish indication on the CCI, and that expands all the way up to the monthly time frame. I showed this before, but on the monthly time frame, we're also seeing a 0 line reject. That's really it's a really powerful continuation pattern for the move, which is in the upward direction. That's kind of what you want to see. We're seeing the CCI come above the 100 for the first time ever. That's first time ever. And that's kind of what you want to see. You want to see the price and the CCI. You want to see the CCI get above the 100 and just keep on, for the bull market, just be above the 100. That's what you want to see. You want to see the 100 hold as support for the CCI. So as far as I can tell, it's looking really, really, really bullish. But I mean, I've been saying that for a while now, so I mean, keep on saying it. There's no CCI on the 2 monthly, so forget that. Let's have a look at the 2 weekly. Nothing of interest. Coming back above the 100 is bullish. And coming back above that previous level is bullish. So I sometimes look at these other time frames to see if I see anything interesting. Can't really see anything interesting. 5 days. Yeah, but it's kind of what you want. You want the CCI to be in the highs and just continue doing that while the price is moving upwards. So for all intents and purposes, the CCI is looking very nice. I'll just keep an eye on that. I have this other indicator which I'm using, which people are interested in. It's called this level LLC. And that will sometimes give you exhaustion levels. I know that there is one at the moment on the daily time frame. We are coming into an exhaustion level. Effectively, what you want with one of these key levels, these exhaustion levels, is you want a flip. What we want is the price to get up there and flip it. Yeah, we don't want to see a rejection. We want to see a flip. But there is a key price exhaustion level in our way, and it's about basically the top of this wick here. We see the buy exhaustion levels as the price was moving down. They were basically flipped. They were flipped. So it's more of an art. It's not like rocket science. It's good to see that there are some kind of areas of interest where we need to cross. If we can cross that and flip that, then we're potentially off to the races. You see how here the 4-hour time frame, there was an exhaustion level. Look how it flipped. Couldn't get through. And then it pushed through. And you see how it back tested perfectly on the exhaustion level. Yeah. So that's kind of what I'm looking for when it comes to these other interesting indicators, to see how it performs at that daily exhaustion level. That's something I'm keeping an eye on. The other thing that I'm keeping an eye on is obviously the Bollinger Band. I haven't had it up recently because it's not interesting right now. We're just pushing into the top part of the daily, which is fine. But what is interesting is you see on the weekly time frame, we're now finally expanding the top part of the Bollinger Band outwards. This could go on for a while. So let's just see how far that expands. And also on the monthly time frame, if you see what happened is last month, for the first time in the price history of TRVL, we were able to close the monthly time frame above the midpoint of the Bollinger Band, which is the 20 moving average. And you can see the price is nicely expanded away. Now we're coming into the top of the Bollinger Band. We can expand that out. That would be really great, because then the next level of interest for reaccumulation will be the midpoint of the higher time frame Bollinger Band. So let's just see how that plays out. If we're able to expand that Bollinger Band out to about 30 cents, and then if it does pull back and this midpoint comes up, then we'll have a really nice area to pick the price up again and take it right back up. And that's what we want to do for the duration of the bull market. The idea is to push the price as far as we can before exhaustion happens, and then as we get a retrace, to reaccumulate at key levels and hold the price for continuation. And effectively you'll get a bullish 5 waves, and I think the momentum is going to pick up even more drastically towards the end of the bull market, when Bitcoin is going a little bit berserk. And so it's not happening yet. So we just have to be patient with that and see how that plays out. But everyone is bullish, so that's the main thing. People are I mean, we're at the beginning of the bull market. It hasn't even, the halving hasn't even happened. People are not selling, they're buying. Next month is the halving. People are buying, they're not selling. They're not selling really. They might be taking profit, but usually what they do is they either put the value back in at lower prices, or potentially they trade it with other coins which are pumping, and then hopefully people will do what I'm doing, is putting all my value back into TRVL, and for the duration of the bull market I'm using TRVL as my store of value. That's what I'm doing. If everyone does that, then let's hit $23.50. That's my target. And right now it's unimaginable. Yeah, but let's talk about it. Let's tell people. Let's spread the word. Let's keep on sharing the information. Let's change the world. I think Dtravel is going to change the world, potentially. And my targets. Oh God, there is. There you go. 5.1, 9.6, and 23.4. We get up to those higher prices and see why not. Let's do it. Hopefully by then we'll have some kind of derivatives in place, and then people won't even need to sell. They can just hedge their positions with shorts at the highs. That would be good. And then you never need to sell TRVL. You can just hold a short for the duration of the bear market while your TRVL is still functioning as it should, as a governance token, and as also as potentially staking and earning residual income. All right, so that's TRVL. I'm going to come back in a second and I'm going to talk about Dtravel. Be back in 5 to talk about Dtravel over Can't spell. Okay, I'm back. So yesterday we had some information launched on the Dtravel Telegram. Let me have a look at the website. Let me see if I can find anything interesting here. Night protocols there. There's governance here. Not yet. Not yet. Oh, I like that. Look, 1 TRVL. Look at that. We're seeing 8s. I like 8s. For such a long time we're on 3s. Click on buy. So what's interesting is that there is this there's this new widget that's been put onto the Dtravel website, and what it does is it allows you to transfer BSC Binance chain to ETH and vice versa. Okay, there's a little cost involved. Pair is currently unavailable. Why is it unavailable? So you can transfer from Binance chain to ETH. Can you do it the other way around? Not right now. Let me try less. No. So you can't at the moment do it from ETH to Binance chain, but you can change it from Binance chain to ETH. So a lot of people have been asking about this, and this is quite interesting. Let me try it. Okay. You have to enter the wallet. I don't know what that refund is. Maybe because, I don't know. A lot of people have been asking for this, and this is quite a new development. So this is new. This is really good because it means you're not tied to Binance. You can also just pull it to ETH. I don't know why you can't change from ETH to Binance, but at the very least you can change it from Binance to ETH. So that's good news. This is new. Then let me have a look at the Twitter page. I think there was an announcement recently. Where is it? That was a night protocol. Okay, so have a look at this. We're excited to announce that we've begun building towards a hospitable API, which will bring thousands of travelers into the Dtravel ecosystem, provide an easier path to creating a Dtravel account via Airbnb import. Perfect. That's the exchange wallet. So it's a one-to-one BEP to ERC only. So the bridge is from BEP 20 to ERC 20. So it's only one directional at the moment. And soon Dtravel will be offering the ability to purchase TRVL through exactly the same widget. That's going to be game changing because it means that people can buy TRVL easily. Cynthia, the CEO of Dtravel, was at the ITB Berlin. I was there, and she did a very excellent presentation on the Night Protocol and the work that Dtravel are doing with the AI search features. So this was quite a success. And she was also on this Binance Live AMA. I didn't attend that, but you can just click on that, and hopefully it won't lead you down the rabbit hole. Well, it might. Oh God, what is all this rubbish? Okay, it wants me to log in. So you probably have to log in to Binance to get to that page. All right. There's another AMA, upcoming AMA. It's announced here. They haven't actually posted the governance. Why is the governance not here on the Twitter? Probably because, oh, here it is. What is this? We're excited to share that we've just published an introduction to Dtravel governance. We're excited to begin empowering Dtravel community members with the ability to exercise their voting rights, influence Dtravel's roadmap, and weigh in on proposals that impact the Dtravel ecosystem. The document covers our approach to progressive decentralization, that's the key, distributed ownership, and how you can participate. Read more about the governance here. This is what I was looking for. Okay, this is it. I don't know if I'm going to go into depth here because it's pretty straightforward. It just explains the idea. And effectively, the idea is the difference between a Web 2 company and a DAO. Okay. And how the DAO is owned by the people who own the TRVL, which is the governance token, as well as the utility token for the Knight protocol. And then here it's the Dtravel going on about their long-term ideas, about long-term sustainability, progressive decentralization, and distributed ownership. So they're giving context to the governance document. So it's worth a read for people who haven't read this yet. And then they're talking about New Start, Block Tech Labs, and how they're contributing to Dtravel and their role in the governance. And then it goes on to the community members and how they can participate. And so it's all done using Snapshot. We've used it once before. It wasn't the most amazing efficient operation, but you know, as time progresses, as we continue doing this, it's only going to get better. And Snapshot is a free to use voting platform that allows Web3 communities to vote without gas fees, using the tokens that are held by community members in their wallets, even if those tokens are staked. So that's Snapshot. Does that go anywhere? Yes, it does. And so I could potentially log in. Don't have any tokens in my wallet at the moment, but let me just have a look at that. There it is. I think you can see that. Can you see that? Just having a look to make sure. Yeah, no, possibly not. Yeah, you can see that. So that was the first vote. It was for this Wonderverse thing. I don't know if that actually happened or not, but there was a choice of marketing partners. So you have a Dtravel Direct, and I think this is how the governance is going to be. I mean, it's still fresh. I mean, it's still, it's not. Don't know. Right, let's see. And this is TRVL. Don't know why there's two yet. I'm a bit confused about this, but let's see. Multi-chain settings. Right. So that's Snapshot. Let me just get out of that now. And go back to the document. Why are you using Snapshot? Well, because everyone uses it. Example of Dtravel proposals, proposal process and proposal templates, how the Dtravel DAO will be governed through a council. So this is interesting. So you need 300 TRVL to be able to participate in the votes. They're talking about a council. I'm not sure yet what that means. Potentially that will be a group of people, maybe from the community as well, I don't know, who will make propositions or make proposals. So it's not going to be a disorderly governance, it'll be orderly governance, and then token holders will be able to participate by either supporting future proposals and ideas, or they'll vote it down effectively. So we'll just have to wait to see how this develops. I guess this looks like a very very basic proposal or governance document. This is the structure, I guess, and the foundation of what's coming. So this is the direction of travel, and I think people need to be aware of that. So when you are holding TRVL, this is you, this is us, this is me. And we'll have to see what the council is. Is it going to be a council, huh? Where is it? There it is. You've now connected governance. Proposal. Where was the council there? Examples of the council composition and selection. So that hasn't happened yet. So I guess that's going to be one of the things that the community will decide through some kind of vote, some kind of council. Something to bear in mind. Yeah, look, this is an evolving document that will be updated regularly. So this is a good place to keep an eye on this. This is obviously the first snapshot of this document. So we just have to see how that pans out. And then I'm just quickly going to have a look at the Telegram. Some people don't have access to Telegram, so it's good to just pull it up and have a look. Let me just open it first. Make sure I don't have any dodgy pictures in there. No, nothing dodgy. Oh, wait. See that? So this is the Dtravel Telegram. The membership is growing. As you can see now, we're over 6,300 members. That's really exciting because we can see now the community is growing. And here is the update. Highlight one product. So they're building an API, an hospitable API, which I said. This is the business development, which is the swap. And here's the marketing. So they've just published the governance. If you have an idea that you'd like turned into a proposal, then you can contribute suggestions in the Dtravel governance forum under governance category. I'm going to open that in a second. They've been engaging with discussions with influencers. And there's the AMA of the Crypto Panda and Binance Live. I'm going to have to catch up on that. And the next AMA is on the March the 11th. That's in 2 days' time. So definitely catch up with that. We've launched an introduction to Dtravel to the Sensei AI. Okay, so I'm going to have a look at that as well. So let's have a look at that. Is there anything else here? Yeah, new operators. Look at that, new booking, new site activated. Lots of conversations are being had here. Definitely worth checking out. So let me just now click on that. Open that. Have a look at that. This is the Sensei. Oops. This is it.
Introducing Sensei, the first AI-powered travel companion that helps you discover vacation rentals that can be booked directly with owners and operators anywhere in the world. Select a profile, input your travel preferences, and Sensei AI will recommend directly bookable listings. Traveling to a new location, Sensei will narrow down the search, providing you with personalized listings that match your unique travel profile. Clicking a listing will bring you to an independently owned vacation rental site where you can complete your booking without paying commission fees. Embrace a truly peer-to-peer experience and discover listings that can be booked in fiat or cryptocurrencies. Save time and money booking vacation rentals with Sensei.
Interesting. So that's a new video that was launched for this ITB in Berlin, and I saw it presented amongst a pretty busy crowd. What else is that? This is the community proposal forum. So it's just been released and everyone can participate. It's just for the proposals, so people can have conversations on the proposals. It's not about talking about anything, it's talking about the proposals. So we have the Night Protocol light paper here, and so if you have comments on that, you can go in there and you can have a conversation. Okay, you can't comment on the actual Night Protocol, but you can comment somehow. I don't know how. Like here, look. See, look, Ronnie's saying this is great. Go Dtravel and thanks, Sin. And so basically here, Cynthia is, if anyone has comments on the proposal of the governance, this is the place to do it. This is what's happening, is that Dtravel are organizing all the feedback into forums, and so we can have lively discussion and debate in these forums with specifically in reference to the different. It's just going to take a little bit of time to pick up. So the night paper, the protocol is locked, but this is general discussion. So this is where you would talk about the night protocol. If you're interested to talk about the night protocol, if you have any questions, this is a good place to go and debate that and have a conversation about that. Just keep it constructive and don't talk about the price. It's not the place to talk about the price. That is this site, so go and sign up, community.dtravel.com. all right, is there anything else interesting? Let me have a look at the Twitter. I think as we continue to become recognized in the crypto community, it's really important that we get as many likes and retweets on these posts as possible. I think everything that we do to make the crypto and the wider audience aware of what Dtravel is going to benefit all of us. And so definitely do that. And also whenever there are some nice listings, like look, this is Colombia, they post it, these are new listings. So if you want to go to Colombia, you can do it. This is it. Look at that, that's actually really nice. Lux Living, Medellin. If you want to go to Medellin, there's an apartment waiting for you. There's a bit of AC there. Looks nice. Look at that. Beds, nice. Kitchen is nice. Looks very nice. Is that a washing machine? Looks like it. You can go and stay there. Look, this is your view. Excuse me. You have a nice little porch or terrace, rooftop terrace. Look at that. Little gym. Is that laundry? Oh, it's got a balcony as well. Look at the night sky. There's a lot of pictures, huh? Coffee machine. 24/7 dormant, ultra high speed Wi-Fi. Perfect. It's cheap as well. Look, £70 a night. One guest, maybe two guests. Romantic getaway. Let's have a look. Pay with crypto. That's it. No fiat. Pay with crypto. If you pay with crypto, there's no credit card processing fees. See that? So that's how you do it. You can book it. The great thing about this is it's insured as well. So the insurance package is better than Airbnb. That's the main thing. So it's pretty exciting. And then his contact details are there as well. Look, all of their details are there. So you can contact them in advance and you can chat to them if you want. I think that's pretty good. All right, I think that's all of the Dtravel updates. Next week is the awaited tokenomics update, and so we're all looking forward to that. That's going to be exciting. Hopefully by next week TRVL will be trading at 30 cents. This is the team. Well, actually Cynthia, and this was her panel. A big investor, I can't remember his name. His name's on the list somewhere. This is like a professor from Austria. My brother and I were there supporting Dtravel, and then we were also talking to a lot of Web2 companies, seeing if they were interested in the Night Protocol. And what was interesting is that there was a lot of interest in the Night Protocol, because the problems which the Night Protocol aim to solve are real. They're real problems. And so you're fundamentally changing the future of the way things are done by leveraging the power of the blockchain. Okay, that's what's happening right now. This is literally the beginning. This is the beginning of something potentially really huge. And so we just have to see how that grows and develops. That was us. This is it. See that? She was on the main stage. So she had a little segment, and then there was a panel, and I can't see. Leah Jordan was the host, and then I should have put all of the details down. Actually, I didn't post that. Oh yeah, I did. England, huh? Let's have a look. And people don't know what Dtravel is. This is Dtravel Direct. So this is the peer-to-peer application which allows travelers to book accommodation directly with hosts or operators which operate these accommodations. And when you book, there's no middleman. You just book directly. Oh my God, House of Cinema and Games Room, Sleep 17. There you go. You can book directly with these people. This is lush. Look at that. Damn, 17 people. You can have a party. Probably says no parties. Yeah, look, this house is not a party house. It's this large, spacious family house. 707 a night for how many guests? 16 guests. Amazing. Is there a minimum? 2-night minimum. There you go. What's that fees? 3.5 bathrooms. They need to put crypto here. Why is there no crypto? See, that's the thing. A lot of people are not crypto savvy yet. So once you get all of these big hosts, big operators finally putting crypto as well, It's going to be a game changer. Actually, crypto is where it's at. Where is that place? It's like a farm. Shrewsbury. Okay, nice. It's by the it's by an RAF base, so you can go there and you can watch jet fighters land and fly. That's where it is. Okay, I think that's it. Have a look at some other things quickly. Look at Bitcoin again.